beautiful souls, Avalon here, and today I wanted to expand on my video regarding deity work. So I did a video about deity work, spirit work, and I will link that video in the description box below, and I got lots more answers and quite a bit of enthusiasm to expand on that topic, which is what I am seeking to do today. So I thought that I would come at this from a little bit of perhaps a little how-to, practical how-to, a few things to consider, a few things to definitely not do, and just a little bit of food for thought, okay? Because I like people to be able to take what I say, think for themselves, and do with it what they will. So most of all, I like for people to take what I say and then go on the hunt for more information. So with all of this said, I wanted to start off with maybe a few things to consider when it comes to deity work. So deity work is the foundation of my practice because it is something that I have been doing for a very long time. I don't know if you're familiar with Macumba, Umbanda, Candomblé, things like that. They are rooted in spirit work, in the direct horsing of a deity. So you grow up in that environment and deity work is very real and very regular thing for you. So it is the foundation of my personal practice, and it is something that I have worked very hard to develop, and I have developed on a very constant basis. With this said, there is a certain magic to having cultivated a relationship with a deity over time. There is a beautiful understanding and a cherished connection there, because I feel like I know my deity and my deity know me. And I don't feel like I need to consistently ask anything of my deity, but when I do, I know from experience the results that I get from a magical working where I have called into being my deity, my matron, for instance. It is transformational. It is, in fact, the very reason why my husband now believes in what I do, believes very strongly in witchcraft. He has seen with his own eyes what happens when I say I'm going to do a magical working and I'm about to lay out an altar in a completely different space to my own for my Orisha. He takes one step back and says, how much time do you need? And then he has seen that result. He has seen it, he's been astounded by it, he has nearly thrown up and passed out as a result of that, because the turnaround is so fast, the intensity through which it arrives it can be felt. And it's the reason why he believes in what I do. It's also the reason why he's given me a whole entire giant room in our house for me to do my witchcraft, because he knows that when I'm in here, I'm not wasting time, I'm getting down to business. And the core of that amazing power comes from my working with my deity, my relationships with my deity, these relationships that I have taken a great deal of time to cultivate. With this said, there are a few things that you certainly do not want to do when it comes to deity, like the one-way exchange. Now, I'm sure we've all seen the one-way exchange time and time again, but I want to outline it for you in very practical terms. So let's say you have a friend, a really good friend, to you at least, that has a tremendous amount of resources that you feel you can go up and ask them for whatever. And you do just that. You bang on the door and go, hey, I needed this. And then next week you bang on the door, hey, I needed that. And you're constantly going there to ask for things. You're constantly there asking for things, but never giving anything in return. So in practical terms, what kind of a relationship would that be? Do you believe that the energy exchange in that scenario is fair? I think in practical terms, well, in fact, I know in practical terms, most people would have closed the door in your face and on you and on your life, so that you can go on your merry walk elsewhere and then take advantage of somebody else, because that is not a fair exchange. The same rules apply in deity work. If you're only ever going there putting an offering because you want to ask something from a deity, then yeah, the deity is going to throw you a bone from time to time, but it's not going to be anything compared to the type of aid they will give you if you have developed a strong, respectful, working relationship with a fair exchange. One of the things that people forget is that when you are engaged in deity work and when you are committed to deity, that you are entering into a devotional type of relationship whereby you devote a great deal of time, energy, love, attention, focus, you name it. You're devoting an aspect of yourself to that deity. And in doing so, you are opening up those channels of communication and cultivating a strong working relationship. Now, truth be told, I don't need to beat on the door of my deity time and time again every day. I don't have a frantic lifestyle. I have a strong spiritual practice. I have a very balanced lifestyle. So the times that I have had to call on my deity for aid are few and far between. This is not to say that I've never done it, because I absolutely have. And each and every time I have never been disappointed. I've never been let down. And I have always been immensely grateful and surprised time and time again, as has my husband, which we have covered. When the process of deity work sparks itself in your sphere of consciousness and you feel drawn to working with a particular deity, and this feeling of being drawn to a particular deity can occur in many ways, many ways. You can receive signs, symbolisms, dreams, a reading, a spirit work session with someone like me, for instance, just to name but a few. But there it is, the deity that you want to work with. What do you do then? How do you begin the process? You begin the process on the hunt. So it's almost a rite of passage, the search for the information necessary to establish the temple, right? And you're on the hunt to establish the temple. The temple is a physical space where you can create an altar, a working altar or a shrine, so to speak, or just a sacred space to your deity. But you need the right kind of information to gather the right kind of tools to put on that altar in your temple, so to speak. So you go on the hunt and you start to look at things from a regional perspective, perhaps from a national perspective, but I encourage you to take a cross-cultural perspective, because that's where the magic, that's where the intersections occur. And I'll tell you why. I'll give you a little example. I work with the Orisha a lot. That's the foundation of my practice, is working with the Orisha. And the Orisha are Yoruba. I work with the Orisha in a Brazilian sense, in a Macumba sense, right? But the Orisha are also used in, say, hoodoo, for instance, and a little bit in voodoo and in Santeria. They use the concept of the Orisha, right? Now, there are things that are drastically different in those practices and those traditions, one from the other. Say, for instance, if they're looking at Emanja, Odoya Emanja, if they're looking at the Orisha Emanja, there will be things that will be different in each tradition, and there will be the things that are the same. Emanja is a mother deity. She is a sea deity, for instance. Her colours are blue and white. She has a day of the week, a sacred herb, a sacred food. You look very closely and you're going to find the same details, cross-culturally speaking. What they do in, say, Brazil is the same to what they do in Africa, which might be the same as what they do in, say, hoodoo America, and so on and so forth. So you look for the similarities, cross-culturally speaking, because that's where you find those intersections and those very special gems. Those very special gems are keys to unlocking doorways to work with the deity that you are attempting to connect with. Now, lucky for me, the Orisha are known in different parts of the world. They are not obscure. They have legend, they have rhythm, they have a narrative, and they have a strong following. But what if you end up with a deity that is very obscure? My advice to you is wing it. Might not inspire a lot of confidence, but here's the thing. If you end up with a really obscure deity of which there is very, very, very little information. I can't think of a single one at the moment, mind you, but there are ones out there that are only just mere mentions in mythological texts, and you can't find anything of substance to really latch onto. Then you have to take what you've got You have to create yourself a path working, and you have to journey to the very heart of that deity. Knock on that door in a very deeply trance-like spiritual journey style and ask. Just flat out ask. And wait to see what happens. If they don't answer you the first time, they want you to work for it. Do it the second time. Do it the third time. Do it the fourth time. Do it however many times you need to. Just get it done. Now, once you have those beautiful keys, let's call them keys, to establish the temple, then that is what you do. You place them on your altar. You place them in your sacred space in an arrangement that suits you, that feels right to you, that resonates with you, right? And then you begin by creating a practice, a regular practice. That regular practice will look different to my regular practice. I'm pretty elaborate with my practice, and I have a method through which I do the same thing every day. It's tradition, right? Yours might be a little bit different. There will be a day where you come and you sing a song. There might be a day where you go there and you light a candle. There might be a day where you go there and you do something totally different. Or you just place your hands and you take 3 deep breaths, you align and you center and you speak their name. Each and every time you speak their name, you're intoning that energy. You're bringing it into being. Once you start to really get into the groove with your daily practice or your regular practice, a daily practice works for me. It might not necessarily work for you, so let's just use the word regular practice, just for ease. Once you have cultivated a bit of a rhythm with your practice, it's time to begin walking the world of offering. And so offerings can be as elaborate as you like or as minimalist as you like. You can begin by creating a very special incense, a very special loose mix incense, specifically for your deity. By doing this, you are cultivating herbs that you believe will fit with your deity. You are grinding them into being, you are choosing them carefully, you are intertwining your energy into them. It's a process, you're creating a working, right? So, with that said, you have that incense and you can use that incense. That can be the regular incense. And you might like to tweak that from time to time, but it's an offering of energy, it's an offering of a creative accomplishment, and it's an offering of sacred herbs that turn into smoke and travel up to the ethers, right? You can do the same with the candle. You can create a candle, you can hand pour a candle, you can go out there and find the most beautiful candle that you believe will resonate. Do that and light that candle. Sprinkle some herbs onto that candle, some herbs that really align with the attribute of that deity. That's an offering. Lighting the flame is an offering. It's an offering of light. You are illuminating their path to you, and you are illuminating the relationship between you two, the methods of communication, the stream, the flow there. You can add blood to it if that is something that resonates with you. You can add blood from a little finger prick if that's something that works for you. Women know that blood can be obtained in different ways, so you can add a drop of your blood. That bonds that candle to you, that makes it a working candle, and that makes it a blood candle. And the blood candle is what I personally use for my deity, so it is the one that I believe has the most power, but each to their own, right? So you have these minor offerings. For my Odisha, for instance, I could put a bowl of seawater because she is a sea deity. I could put a little figurine of a mermaid. She's oftentimes sung to be a mermaid. I can put colours, her sacred colours, for instance, there, and I could place little adornments, essentially. Beyond that, I would place food and drink. I would place cultural foods, for instance. Now, I can't handle fish. I have anaphylaxis, and so I have to go about things a little bit of a different way, but I have taken the time to understand what is necessary and do things the way that is safe for me and pleasing to her. So I leave offerings of food. I throw flowers into the ocean. Each and every time I go to the ocean, I put my feet in the ocean, I anoint myself with seawater, and I say her name. and I honor her out loud. It is something that I do all of the time. And I live by the ocean. I go to the beach once a day. So I have this regular thing going on. And it creates a familiarity. It creates a relationship. It creates a kindred essence. And it's alive with interactive experiences. And those interactive experiences can be quite amazing. There is nothing that binds spirit work to be. Spirit work is free and open, and deity is free and open. And so learning the language of your deity is the only way that you can really go about it. And you get to one point with that, with all that you know, with all of that you can do, and then you have to journey beyond that. You have to really immerse yourself in the process. You have to take the route of trance dancing, or smother yourself in unguents and entheogens, and you have to go about it the old world way, and that will get you a little bit further. And then beyond that, your own personal experiences in the spirit world, you know, the idea of your fetch beast and the walking of the world and the crossing of the hedge, like it's all part and parcel of a wonderful practice that will deepen your connection and expand your mind in ways that you just wouldn't even believe. Deity work is enormous. Once you cross the veil into the world of deity work, you will see how vast it truly is, and yet how interconnected it is. How Celtic Britain can have a connection to ancient Egypt and the deities there, and you can look back and see this incredible web of ancient energy, and how it just clicks and sparkles, and how the information and the narrative and the ancient essence just flows backwards and forwards. It is so vast. It is so vast. So finding what is right for you is absolutely paramount. What I'm telling you is literally the tip of the iceberg. It's just scratching the surface. It is the most practical, most common sense approach, in my personal opinion, and yet there would be others that would disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine as well. We go with what we know, we go with what feels right, and that is really important. But I would like to encourage you to deepen your practice, if that's what you have wanted to do, to really engage with your deity in a way that is genuinely open and that honors an exchange, an equal exchange. And then see for yourself. I'm not going to tell you how it's going to feel. I'm not going to tell you what kind of successes you are going to have. I can only speak of the successes in my own life, the experiences in my own life, but I'm also working with deity in a very unique way. It's not necessarily going to be the way that you work with deity. But I do know this: once you reach a point, everything else becomes spirit-led. And by the time you reach that very particular point, you have enough trust and enough faith in the process to be spirit-led. So, with all of that said and done, I sincerely hope that you've enjoyed this. I know it's probably a lot. I've probably got way more to say on the subject as well, but we'll see where this one goes after this. If I feel like I've got anything more to say, I will. So, with all of that said and done, wishing you so much love, luck, peace and joy. Mwah. Please look after yourself. Bye.